Hello, and welcome to another episode of me, Rob MacIver, drawing. How shall I call it? Rob MacIver Draws? Welcome to an episode of Rob MacIver Draws. I suppose that's a way to do it. This is the second episode of me drawing for the Incarnal Scroll, a commission for my friend Raymond. So last session was only 2 hours. Kind of just started on the rough drawing, laying out how it should look. So I made some nice progress on that front. It was the first time streaming Photoshop work, so there was a couple of one problem I had with the last stream. Basically, when I record just the Photoshop window, it doesn't record drop-down menus or errors, screens and stuff like that. So a lot of time in the last episode when I was showing you different stuff like brushes and stuff like that, it just did not show on screen. So I changed it now, so hopefully you should be able to see it. So let's see how it goes. Let's just jump straight into it. And cheers to another stream. Cheers. All right, so there's where we left off. I'm gonna have to change the pose. I'm not changing the pose, no. I did a rough cleanup just there. And I think I should go back and do it properly. So go back to rough and then draw out how the pose should be before actually doing more cleanup version. Excellent. So you should be able to see it fine here. Do you see drop down menus? Yep. So last time I was talking about canvas size, I went image canvas size. Yeah, you can see it now. Yeah. Cool. And 48 megabytes. 49. That's big. I think it was image size I wanted to check. 300 dpi. That's super high. You don't need it that high. But I always do anyway. My computer's able to handle it. Cool. What next? Let's just go back into it. Let's roll back a bit. Skip off. So we have this guy here. Oh, I also hit the chat box. If someone talks, I'll probably put it up. But I'm doing this so you can see the window, the layers. So we got all this, all three layers. So I have to spend time like concepting what the bubble may look like, and probably more detail how the frame door will go. Let's do color blocking very quickly. Or light blocking. I don't know how to phrase it really. Oh, get the microphone. Can you hear me better now? Testing. I'll put the microphone closer to me. The roughs. Just need to think around. Moving pen, tablet, and keyboard and microphone. Right. Right, we've got the rough mains. Color blocking. I'm not comfortable with this currently. Yeah, I think that's a little better. Yeah, it's a little better. So when we're doing shading, before coloring, we want to know, we want to color in the grays. So this is rough block in color, basically. So my idea is, let's have that low on. So you want different depths when it comes to color. And like how strong the colors are. What would be the best term to use? Like the saturation, how light and how dark you want it. Saturation is not the right word. Brilliance of it. Can't think what term. The value. I think it might be the value. And we want to make it the 3 levels to it, right? So you have a light, a medium, and dark. They're the 3 main ones, and then you could do in betweens, but you want to clearly be stick out from the others. I'm just putting them in the right layer. Oh yeah, there you go. Turn the opacity down so we see what we're doing. So we want. So when it comes to coloring, we want to try and keep the values separate from each other. So even though colors would be like reds, yellows, whatever, we still want if we turn black and white, we kind of want to see how they stand in comparison to the other values, basically. And so I would be able to see what's going on a lot better, basically. So this is what I'm thinking. This is like one idea. Yeah, let's don't need to have more separate layers. Let's just do all in one. This is rough. So this is one idea. We have the person in most darkest, so I kind of focus on that, and it's surrounded by the lightest color here. Lightest color here. So we have like a stark contrast between this color here and this color here. That color and that color, and then we have the midtones here. That's kind of borders and frames the picture. That's the one I'm most probably going to stick to. Let's try the other ones quickly. So we can have this one. And let's make it dark gray. We can have the universe dark. The person light. And the side is still midtone. So that's another option. That way we have the contrast of the person compared to the contrast of the background is still quite high. So you'll be able to stick out still. So that'll be either option 1 or option 2. And if we do this, and then the world's going to have to be white as well. Or maybe grey, actually. Because you want the person to still stick out. So when I say grey, I mean more like mid-tone. So yeah, as I said, all the reds, blues, whatever's in this bubble will be not like really dark red or really light red, but it'll be mid-tone red. And he'll stick out. And this one here will have that fully white. Yeah. Raymond also wanted me to have the main focus to be this world. So maybe having this white and have him silhouetted would be the best one. Yeah, there's other options I can do, but kind of like that. And then we have like, if we have like flame effects, whatever, we can have them light up as well. We have light coming from the bottom of this person as well, and this person. I found out there's a specific name for statues that hold up objects, like Atlas. It's a type of statue. I've forgotten the name of it now off the top of my head. So yeah, that's probably what we're going to do with stick with. Now it's time to come back to it later. With the rough, let's do more stuff with the rough as well. Raymond's given me a list of all the other characters. I'll drink the tea first. Ignore that. Just watching people play Disco Elysium. I completed the game recently, but still wanted to see what other people thought of it. I'm basically just going to my messages and checking out the other references. Based on Facebook currently. And it's not loading. Cool. Just downloading 2D images. Cool. I'll show them over here now as well. Right, well, we've got this drawing here. This is a collage I did. And this is his idea, his original idea. Obviously, he's nicked a whole bunch of anime characters. Yeah, and he can't get away with that, so I have to draw original characters. But these are all the characters I have to kind of draw. He's given me descriptions for every one of them, so I'm going to have to put them in. Now, as you can see, the bubble world there. Yeah, I suppose that's the guy meant to be with the skull. Don't know. What animes are these from? So we've got Neon Genesis, top left. Is that woman from My Hero Academia, maybe? I never watched it. And I don't know who the others are. And a dog. We have a random dog. Alright. So we got that. And the other drawing he sent me is... This is how I imagine the universe to look. There's like the dark space in the shape of a dragon. Quite cool. Let's put them in a folder called references. We'll have that folder grey. And naturally we have it at the bottom. No, we'll have it at the top. Color should be above dump. I want to get a hierarchy correct there. So yeah, we got our references. I'm going to have to read up on the characters quickly. I'll have to do that on my phone. Actually, no. I'll get his text and copy and paste it. Yeah, so bear with me. I'm just doing copying his information about the characters. Right. So characters. What's going on there? So we have how do I do this? It's gonna be a note page. We have a boy. Boy in poverty. Raising poverty. You know what, I'll just call him poor boy. conservative woman. Teenage mother. Rich son. It's another one. And twins. I think he said they were ginger as well. Save. Haven't saved no more. Cool. I think I've got notes on my sketchbook as well about the characters. Just go and check to see if there's any others. I think I'm meant to be in troll. So I suppose this is kind of like the main 6. And let's do the final guide. Kind of the main guy, the guy in the center of the frame. The Willy Wonka character, the leprechaun dude. And his name is Oka, Orna. Which son? I wonder if which son is actually the conservative. Not made clear. Yeah, no, I think he is. He's Jake. Let's move these down a bit. Yeah. Suppose there's characters. Is there more notes? What do we have? So it's Amber and Maureen. Oh, got it wrong. This guy is actually Moran. Just to consider any other characters I'm missing on. I've got a note by note, bullet point by bullet point of the actual story. Alright, cool. I think these are the mains. We got 6. So at the very least, we need to draw these people. Didn't I have it on the side somewhere? God, I've got an idea. I'll make this small. I'll have it as tight as possible. Merge this group. Make it super small so I can have a bit of a reference. Got the main reference here if I actually need to go back to it. Yeah, so at the moment I'm going to be roughly drawing where these characters are going to go. These are the main 6, but I'll need to put in 1 or 2 others just to fill it out a bit more. I don't need the background at the moment. Right. Again, a little bit of layers I don't particularly need. Give them that one. Yeah, get rid of that one as well. Moran. Let's have them in one folder. Also, yeah, we should have that. Yeah, let's hide it. Let's hide that. Let's go back to this. We're currently on rough draft 1. But I think I forgot to mention some more steps. So I suppose it would be a 4B, where it's kind of like full color. So that includes shading basically, textures, material. Stuff like if it's gold or if it's metallic, then you want to color in the way it reflects off the light. But yeah, still a long way off. It's still in a rough draft. Alright, save again. Right. Yes. 14 hours total. Session 1 was 2 hours. Session 2, so far only 40 minutes, half hour, only half hour in. All right, cool. Noted. Now what? Now we get onto it. Rough name. Let's hide the title. It's just that. And as layers just about do, man. It's there's only one. This is what I was saying last time as well. When I was saying that if you want to know if there's something on the layer, and you saw pixel there, Control T and it shows up there, so you know it's there. If it's not, if there's nothing going on, press Control T, and then you get a window. Could not transform because the initial bounding rectangle is empty. So that's a good indication there's nothing on the layer. Did I have a layer called counters already? I had a note called counters. Frame. Two counters. All right, cool. Let's go in. The frame door, we go to the original designs, the original placements of the people. And with the main characters, let's get them in. Let's have them really low down the opacity, so I know roughly where it would be. Let's use that one. Although that massive. Yeah, it all depends on like focus, right? If the main focus on the guide, then it'd be good to have them that big. But if the main focus is on bubble world, which we're in once, it's pretty bad having small. Alright, let's keep that one on. The opacities are low, so we know where he is. Counters, we got, he's one. we've got one there. I think Raymond also did not mention the ages of these characters, so that probably would have been quite helpful. So first things first, let's get the ginger twins in. It's just a lot more poses to do, the more the characters are. And then there's the rich guy, Jake. Let's have him here. Not doing poses, just figuring out blocking. Poor boy. How poor is he? Oh, how young is he? Not specified. Cool. And who else do we have? We have. So let's number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Alright, cool. So 2, 3, the rich son Jake. 4, 5. Conservative woman. I think the whole lot should be moved up a bit. Move up a bit more. That boy is gonna be smaller, so could be further down. Probably push him in. pregnant woman here. Let's lower the opacity of the door frame as well. Get to see. Right, well, no, well, I suppose we can have 1 or 2 others here. We can have just like a montage, no montage, collage heads. We've got fire coming up as well. Yeah, that's an idea. Let's do another version of this. What does it extend that for? The box shouldn't extend that far. There's like a pixel there somewhere. I'm gonna select it and delete it. Yeah, that's more like it. Let's have them bigger. Yeah. Bit wider. We could just have them super big. Let's have another variant. That's one. Alright, which versions do we have? Let's get rid of the bigger version. Can I put them down a bit more? Don't want to cover up the background too much. Then we go to background. Bubble. Alright, cool. So we've got options. So there's people. It's a good starting point for the people, but it had to be repost. But I just wanted to see where I could put them all in. Did we cover everyone? Yeah, we covered everyone. Let's make that red for now, so it's easier to see what's going on. Let's load them. So there's people I have to come back to because the poses are wrong, not the best, and I need to do it properly. I feel like it's probably good now to work on the background, because once I start doing the main character, I don't want him in the way of the background. I do the background first, and then I can, once I start doing the main person, then I can figure out how the best placing. Let's have a group of that by itself. And then save it. Don't need the notes and counters anymore. Right, so concept in this island. Let's duplicate that. So basically what it says. So he's got his initial idea of island here. And I can use that as reference as I go. Except for this morning. Right, bubble world. So we're kind of going to the second stage of rough. So I already had like a very, very rough first draft. Now I need a rough second draft. Now I've actually had to stop thinking about it. So basically Raymond said I could make it wherever I want. It's up to my imagination, basically. So I want to keep the fantasy aesthetic, like the castle and stuff. Just so so the audience kind of knows what kind of genre we get into, I suppose, just by looking at the castle. So I could put a bit of my own flair into it. These are completely from the imagination. These worlds exist from the imagination, so they could be wild, which I like the sound of. I could do anything I want, and it's not a problem. So the other thing I was going to mention was when you design islands, floating islands. I mentioned this on the other stream before as well. There seemed to be. I want to know where the origin of like the design for the floating island. It seemed like after my theory is, I could very much be wrong, that I feel like the Studio Ghibli film Laputa Castle in the Sky kind of like reinvigorated the idea of the floating island, and there's been a lot of Japanese games and anime and films that kind of seem to copy the style of it, but the general design, you always have like a diamond shape, right? The earth that comes up from the ground is the bottom half, and it's always a triangle, and then the castle's at the top half of the triangle. So you always have the shape language that's always the same. Feels a bit boring. So I want to try and mix up a bit. So what other shapes can we do? So if we do circles, then I'm basically just brainstorming now. So we can have a circle earth here. That look like water. So maybe we can have like a water dome. And then land on top. Land on top of water. On a dome. And the dome just happens to, like half dome, I should say. Like, I don't know if you play Final Fantasy 10. like the sphere, the water sphere. Maybe the castle could be on there. That's an idea. Because it doesn't have to be Earth, right? But if we're doing water, let's go back to the triangle again. But water? Because if it's floating in space anyway, why don't we have the water? Why do we need to have it in a circle shape? I mean, if we're going by the laws of like physics and stuff like that, then yeah, it will be like wardrobe, like cylindrical. But what if we had water in it? Let's just go mad in like ideas. What about water in the shape of a cone? That's going back to the triangle design. We can have square shape. We can have a cube. I suppose it's kind of interesting to see what you want on top as well. You want a cube at the bottom. Do you want a cube up top as well? So like a castle in a cube shape. It reminds me of in Norwich. They have like an old Saxon castle. I think it's Saxon. It's like a year old anyway. But the old castles used to be just a cube shape. Really cool design. Then got like the crosses in there, right? Like the slits to put bows through. Maybe we can have different shapes maybe. But probably won't be sticking with that. We can have cube upon cube. It look like a cake. We can have a cake castle. Yeah. So we got like. We got that as an idea. This is the fun part now. Just messing around. See what ideas are. So we had triangle. We had square. We had dome. And we had water. We had earth. What about fire? And what about like a random shape? That's not like the primitive shapes. And does this land need to be flat? So if we do now, we can probably have a castle going that way. The land's on the castle. He said the general like size of the place is I don't know, the equivalent of a town, the size of this bubble world. So we can have fire as well. What other shapes can we do? Let's not think about element. Because like, I'm going out there a bit, but I'm probably going to rein it back in. I just wanted to see what's out there. One of my first designs. I'm basically just going to my classic kind of design, like spiral wings kind of stuff. I've done a couple of building designs, castle designs in the past. I like drawing my version of wings. They're not accurate, let's say. They're more abstract. Like every stage of the way, when I throw out a line, I'm instantly thinking of the overall shape of the whole thing. So in my mind's eye, I am seeing this silhouette. So I'm not looking at the individual lines. When I'm placing a line, I'm thinking about how the shape will look. Would it be there? And then draw another line, and it's like, is it going to come up there? And then if it goes something like that, then it's like, well, this silhouette looks, it's conflicting. It doesn't feel right. I can't explain it. It's kind of like intuition, I suppose, of how the shape you want it to look, kind of thing. So this is why, like, you see me like throwing out like random lines. I'm kind of like testing the field a bit, and then maybe go back on it. So what point is the land? We can have the land come up here. Have like a town. Didn't I, in the previous drawing last week, I had like second pair of wings? I kind of like the asymmetrical nature of it. So if you had a town here, so we had a road leading up to the castle. This is quite straight on as well. I'm not doing any like extreme angles. We can have cloud. It's another element. Is it an element? But I suppose not in the periodic table sense, but more like an object sense. Another element in, like a person or a building or yeah. And I want to avoid the triangle, the common triangle for the ground. Do we want a cloud base? I want Earth. I want to go back to Earth. All this is going to be inside a bubble. So you can see here. So I kind of want a flat disk. But I like the spires of castles, kind of how I draw castles. Maybe I need to rethink about the spires and try and something different, maybe. I mean, like, do spires need to be pointy? Can I have one big spiral coming up? And this alone could take a very long time to do. Question everything. See if there's a different way of designing it. If it doesn't look good, then you can always revert back. Can something be redesigned, basically? Well, everything can be redesigned. It's good to like kind of experiment a bit. That shape looks quite cool. What I'm not liking is this little thing here. I like the shape here, this curvature, but I don't like how the town's underneath it. But I do need to focus more on the right side. I still want it to be mostly on the right side of the drawing, asymmetrical. That's a crazy design. Where will the town be? We need more room for the town. The earth can be outwards, unless spiked out. Oh, I'm not liking that. Saved. It's been a while since I last saved it. How long has it been? Just over an hour now. Could have a dragon going around it. Yeah, no, I'm starting to dislike it, but let's go back. See if we can put off a little bit better. Let's go that far back. These wings, do they have to be like, can it be buildings as well? Can it be the design of the building, be the shape of a wing? Maybe we can have it like a barfly. Nice, what was that? They look like water come down here now. So we probably try and incorporate that. Maybe we can have like stairs going up. We can have the town here. Surrounded by a lake. So these wings are actually like part building as well. Yeah. Actually, that's quite cool. Do I want to do the dome? It needs to be 3-dimensional. Or does it? I suppose the good thing about having it back to the triangle. Where is it? Or the dome. Did I actually draw it? Did I actually keep it? If I did. I suppose, yeah, as I was saying, the good thing about having like the dome or the triangle is that they're cliche. Not cliche, cliche is a strong word to use. Common, I suppose. Because they still provide. Cliche makes it sound like it's more worthy to use. But there's some um, so sometimes when it's okay to use them, I feel, because they're quite common. Your eye can rest on it. Like you don't need to focus too much on it. And you want something familiar for the audience as well. So if you're gonna have like crazy wild stuff going on above, the eye's gonna focus on there, and you don't want crazy wild stuff going on at the bottom as well. So having a common shape might be good to rest your eye a bit. So the eye could then focus on the crazy part top. But I still want to get away from the triangle. So maybe a dome, half dome. Yeah, when it's a half dome, it's always water, ain't it? But when it's a triangle, it's always land. You don't get triangle water. Or you don't get earth dome. At least not as far as I remember. I just rolled. What game was it that had spikes coming out of that? Elise's Dragoon. We always have tech stuff like the Pluto Castle in the Sky. It's like a tech city. Alright, keeping that in mind. It is good to give this a rest and come back to it. Let's have. If we're gonna have water here. Then maybe have the water triangle then. Because you don't have water as triangle. As I was saying earlier. This is as an idea. I'm not sure. Stick with this yet. This looks quite evil. I suppose I'll smooth out the lines later, make it look more angelic. Right. Next. Let's mess around with this. Let's see if we can still work on it. This bit in the middle looks a bit odd. Can I improve the point? Yeah, alright, cool, well, that's an idea. Which one's better? So you see the shapes are different. This one looks more like a person. No idea. The shapes are all quite different from each other now. Let's try something else. I did a concept art of thing before. I did a landscape before. Let's see if I can show you. That had a spiral in it. I kind of like the same kind of concept I used here, just for that building as well. Yeah, I found it. So this is the one I did before. And so I like the shape design of this because it kind of your eye kind of follows the drawing. You start going there, then you know so there's a road. Maybe I could have the road come more in from here. Nah, no, or the road coming like that. That would probably be better, actually. So that way we go through the little town here, go through a town there, then we come up and then curl up again, and come out of the picture. So we got ourselves like an S shape. That's what I kind of liked about this. And yeah, maybe I can do some of this. So there's quite a lot of areas of rest. So your eye really does focus on the main parts. And these little things that come out, I use that all the time when I draw. It's kind of evolved my style. So I suppose this is kind of how I'm thinking. Let's get rid of that. Let's put it up there for future reference. Yeah, that might look cool. But yeah, but this is not like some sort of creature, but it's actually built. So you have like windows everywhere in it. It's like a castle. It looks like a castle, but shaped really odd. Yeah, then you can have arches, bridges. And a lake in there. Water coming out there. I mean, it doesn't make sense literally. Like, where would the water come from? But I don't care about that. Especially if you know Raymond and his stories. It's like the world of imagination, right? Like, it doesn't follow any rules. Go make the top shape look cool. So, um, yeah. I spend too long on this if I'm not sticking to this. So, what does it look like? Firstly, it kind of looks like a bit like. Sorry, let me just minimize. Just take a look at my stream. Just make sure everything's going okay. Yeah, everything's good. I thought saw something there. Let's just draw that in what I thought it looked like. Just had a bubble. Don't think I need the dragon so much anymore. So this looks like two things I feel. One looks like, so this is the main body here. So two things it reminds me of. One of them is a tree. So the roots are here coming in. And going up. And these are tree branches. Albeit very abstract. So we've got ourselves like a kind of a tree looking thing. And the other one, it looks like a person. It looks like yeah, a person. I'm about to say like a woman, but like I suppose it could be male or female. So this could be like a skirt, and we're looking at it from behind. So we can have like the woman's hair. These could be like shoulder pads. And or yeah, just outright wings. I mean, they kind of look like wings anyway, but like But like, yeah, this looks more angelic. So it looks like a woman with her back to us, which is also quite cool. I like the tree woman angel hybrid kind of vibe. So that I like that. That's cool. Man, I could just do this as a drawing as itself. I like. I might actually just do it after I complete this commission. Just actually just draw this like proper. Like imagine what it would look like if you did a drawing, but you're standing on that bridge and you're looking up. And what if this crazy idea for a castle? When they build a castle, they made it look like an angel tree thing, but they also, because that kind of looks like a crown. What if they went a bit mad and actually created a castle where they actually in stone created a head as well? And with stone created the hair. So as a solid object rather than something that moves. Man, we're going fantasy, guys. Like, if we're going fantasy and I have unlimited potential, unlimited ideas, like you're not restricted by laws or physics or anything, then we can go mad. We can spar that around that here. And then with this, her crown can be the castle. What's going on here? What is this? So it looks like a tree. It looks like antlers as well. Is this one there? Yeah. Saw the other one. This is a mad idea. I suppose we also got to make sure that it's clear to the audience they're looking upon a castle and not another person. So we got to make sure they don't get too mad and people still understand what's going on. And then, like, if you're doing hair, then you could do, well, let's concept out the hair then. Like, if you're doing castle hair, stone hair, what kind of hair do we want to do? Alright, well, if we're concepting, then could we have a bit of space here? Can we have two hands coming out and holding a cup? And let's make it look more like a chalice. So it's quite obvious that it's a cup. Because then we can have more water coming out, or just water here. And some buildings. And if we're doing that, am I? Yeah. If we're putting that there, then this is kind of conflicting or tension. So we could put it over that side instead. And we'll have to have it shorter. Probably would have to change the hair back to normal. And have like arms basically coming up, holding a chalice up. Those arms can be drawn a little bit. But yeah, I think it's going a little bit too far. Let's go back to this one. Kind of reminded me of in Final Fantasy games, the Summon Alexander. He's like a castle, but like also like a knight as well. So this kind of looks like a knight's helmet. If I clear that from the back. That looks like he's looking forward actually. There's one in the back. That'd be good to have on the front, but it would be too confusing. This is an idea because it's nice and minimal and stops it being too busy. But I like the mad idea that the castle is actually just a statue of a woman with the windows and arches and everything, all the bells and whistles of a castle onto a statue of a woman. Alright, let's start concepting this more so. Did I save? Save again. The angles. Can we do some more the angles? Just try and make it look more hair-like, I suppose. Don't like the shape of this too much. I'm trying to make the shape work. Yep, I'm happy with the shape now. So the rules of this universe, this bubble, is there's no rules. It's magic. If you can't explain anything, then it's just magic. Um, just doing random stuff, random design stuff. Two random wings. Make them a little bit more beautiful. It looks too evil. Just be where the road's going. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting idea. So how does it look compared to the others? Let's see what we got. We don't need that. So is that the first design? So yeah, it's really, really choppy, really spiky. I like that little curvature going on there in this spire. It might be useful for a different thing. This is just examples of design. How's the first one? That one's with the higher head neckline, I suppose. So it looks like a helmet. That was the first rough design with the woman's head. That was a more clean up version. Is it too busy? That's the question. That's the one with holding up a chalice. The head looks terrible in comparison to that now. Now the one there is shortened. Don't like that anymore compared to what I have. See the different designs I had. Yeah, maybe I could come back onto this later. Like for another drawing in the future. Like having fire as a base. If we're doing fire as a base, then it could be anything. I suppose we could do other stuff as well, couldn't we? So let's say wherever the tower is up here. We can have fire like that. Or can we get? Do we need fire to go in the way of flames normally go, or should we just can we make up our own fire direction? Or go back to the original shapes and have. I don't think it'll look good, but I want to draw out. It'll probably be a bit too basic, but fire. I think we did square at one point. So like a cube of fire. Which is a mad idea. Right. And then I suppose you could go for the elements as well then, couldn't you? Wind, water, fire and earth. So we've done them all apart from wind. How would a wind version look? How do you draw wind? I suppose if you have a tornado, kind of the old that ain't it. But you don't tornado. When you see a tornado, you're basically seeing a cloud, aren't you? It's just moving. Yeah. Oh yeah, just messing around. How small is this? Couldn't transform. There's nothing like that. Delete it. Take this off the red color layer because I don't think it's good enough to continue with it. So I like this one and this one. I really like the head on this one. Take that one off. So that's kind of exploring one the design. So yeah, like I designed one bit and then kind of explored all the different kind of variants of this one design. So now I kind of want to like step back, come all the way back out to the beginning, and try a different design, and then do a bunch of variants for that. I feel like I probably am going to stick with this, but I want to come back with fresh mind and try and do something different. Maybe something a little bit more classical, more traditional, something not as out there, or maybe try different shapes. Yeah, I guess. But I'm gonna have a break for now. Probably about a 20-minute break. Just gonna make a cup of tea or something like that. And then yeah, and then we'll continue. So see you guys in 20 minutes. All right, bye. Hey, I'm back. Let's get some more drawing on the go. Cool. Found my pen. Alright, so where do we leave off? We're designing the background bubble world. This is one of the ideas we had. We've done a fair few ideas. A few variants. Let's start again. And let's go for something a bit different. I think I might try and go for something a little bit more traditional. Would help if the pen worked. Alright, bear with me one sec. I'm just going to try and get my pen to work. Hey, I'm back. Yeah, got the pen tablet working again. Wait. Come up with a new idea. No. Still something new. I'm just drawing shapes, just messing around. Just getting into the flow of it. No idea, just put down shapes, you might come up with ideas, mostly. I like the drawing I showed before. I'll show it again here. This one. I like the simplicity of the shape. Maybe I could do something like that. So that one had basically a spiral going like that. What other shapes can we do? I mean, maybe something like that. Been watching for like an hour or something, but I haven't typed anything yet. Anyway, cool artwork. Oh, cool. Thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I really want to get started on the actual main bit of drawing, like actually from rough to like main design. But I need to spend time with rough first to see what I'm doing. Could be building like that. I'm messing around a little bit too much now. I need to start focusing. Castle. Let's go a little bit more traditional. With a different shape. So a lot of the shapes are always like a triangle coming up. Let's try and like mix up the shape, but still a traditional building. Maybe have like 2 towers. But one a little bit smaller than the other. And maybe the whole thing at an angle. Some kind of, yeah, let's get some triangles on there. And the surface doesn't have to be flat. We can have it at an angle. Do we want a town as well? Sure. Alright. Then I haven't really thought of this before. It's quite cool. Because normally when you do designs, you kind of like roll back on the stuff you always do beforehand. Like you build up knowledge on how to draw something. And then when you do more drawings in the future, you kind of like go on the stuff you did before. Like you build upon it. So like the spirals I do on everything, I kind of use as way of filling out. And like when I do the wings, I always have a design for the wings, so I always revert back to. You always want to experiment and try something new. And I like in this. These shapes are quite cool. So I'm thinking now, basically have it on either side. So it's kind of like a dove. You know those kind of paper cranes. Have I tried Delta Rune? Yeah. I'm up to date on it. I completed chapter 3 and 4 like a month or 2 ago when it first came out. I've got it on my YouTube channel as well actually. Let's Play. So I didn't find the secret boss on chapter 3, but I found secret boss on chapter 4. I'm meaning to go back to it and play again actually and find all the secrets. Have you played it? I'm planning on waiting for it to fully release and then play it. Yeah, it's probably a good call. I'm starting to get a bit frustrated. Like you play a bit and then just have to wait. Yeah, so this one sounds quite interesting. Tell me about this little pokey bit there. This would probably have to be really big. Like trees, those are the size of trees. Cool shape design. What was that? We can have water here as well. Spiral water, fuck it. Let's get some spirals back on again. And this would be land here. And the beaches. And more towns. Yeah. And maybe have like obvious castle kind of rivets. I don't know what names of these are. You like Hollow Knight too? But I'm pausing it. Oh, is it? But yeah, I fucking love Hollow Knight. I remember when I played Hollow Knight, it took me about a couple of years to actually get around to playing Hollow Knight. Because I was like, oh no, another Metroidvania. Like I played too much Metroidvanias. But eventually, after a while, I didn't have any games to play and it was on discount. So I thought I'd give it a shot. And then just got like hooked, just got like pulled straight into that game. And yeah, the designs for the creatures, the drawings are so good in it. So like mechanically, it's really well designed. The characters are really well designed, and kind of like the layout, the map is really good. So I really want to play the next one in the series, Silksong. The fact that the parkour in the game is harder than the boss. Get me. The parkour. Yeah. Did you do the Path of Pain? Have you heard of the Path of Pain? There's a bit quite far into the game where it's basically an obstacle course you have to do, and it's so hard. I loved every minute of it. Just gonna open another shape here. So I can't imagine these as kind of pyramids. Like we're seeing now undoubtedly face on. Maybe something else. Yeah. Let's try more. Let's try and do more with this. Yeah, I dropped just because I kept dying to move more objects. Yeah, yeah, the game's a challenge, but that's why I like it. So, and you said something about Undertale. What was that? Oh, you love Undertale, quality. Yeah, Undertale is one of my favorite games of all time. Right, let's duplicate this. Let's work on it. Let's try an iteration of it. So I don't like the bottom half so much. I feel like we could work on it. Let's get rid of these two for now. Yeah, like this is interesting design, but like I want a castle, but I also want a town. So I want to be able to draw a town as well. So maybe on top of this. CQURMF. How do I pronounce that name? It's kind of out there. What would you prefer? Something like that? These spiky ones? Or something like this? Where it's like a castle, but like designed in the shape of an angel. We're going out there with like there's no rules in terms of like magic. In terms of like physics, I should say. Also, that looks like a little star. I like that. Merchants. Yeah. Just idea to keep there for later. I'll show you another drawing that I've done actually. So the person who's commissioned me to do a drawing, he likes one of my previous drawings. And he wanted me to do it in the style of one of my previous drawings. So I'll show you that now. This is a commission I did a while back. That's probably a decade ago now since I did that one. Well, actually, do we have a year? 2014. Yeah, so over a decade ago, just over. I don't even know if the anatomy is correct on the dog. I don't think dogs' legs can bend that way. Or can they? Maybe they can. I haven't done enough drawings for dogs. So it's a very like Studio Ghibli-esque, and like as I said, like I've developed these spirals over time. And that dragon. So the pose I'm kind of doing at the moment for this guy is almost too similar to this guy. So I want to try and like make it different enough, hopefully. Yeah. We'll put that there in the reference. Let's get back to it. I like this shape. This is a new kind of shape for me. Basically experimenting, and I'm quite happy I've come up with something new. I like this little triangle one that comes out here as well. But we need a base. It needs to be a town. Trying to avoid the cylinder again. So maybe a triangle base. So what if we have a triangle going this way around? Does that be too weird? And then we can have the ground triangle as well then. And let's get some flourishes. And have this as water. Why not? Imagination Land. And then we can have the land. Like this maybe. Kind of a little wall up the side. Oh man, I'm coming up with too many ideas I actually want to do. I might just once I'm done Raymond's drawing, just draw my own and draw some castles. That's an island in there as well. Let's have some water dripping out. Let's go mad with the ideas. This castle wall, we can have it going up as well in a diagonal shape. Is this going to be castle based stuff as well? So it feels a bit like crystal-like. Sometimes I wonder the shape design now. Gonna have to go back and figure that out. Duplicate it. Where did it go wrong? So that was cool. That something happened. Let's fix it anyway. So these lines don't work too well. I want to keep the angles straight lines. And these lines need to be corrected as well. Kind of like just need to be more straight. I feel I'm starting to overthink it. You know, sometimes when you just like if you're just like doing your own drawings and you relax, kind of pull off some good things. But like if you have a problem with a drawing, then you start thinking about how to correct it. You tend to get in gets into your head a bit, and ends up being difficult to make look good, basically. Yeah, you can see the jagged lines on a bit. Just stretch it for a second. This building obviously doesn't come down all the way down here. It turns off at one point. Maybe I could show that. That just looks like shadow. Doesn't matter too much. It still makes sense. I got stuff by putting out a lot more on the start again. Let's go even further back. Just curves too much. Just doing the whole thing again from the beginning. Oops, don't want to do that. Can we have another triangle come down or around? Yeah, maybe something like that. How does it look compared to the old one? Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's shade in. So the idea of what's land. So think the land being here. So we have some islands as well. Shouldn't really get too bogged down on designing the castle actually. We could be here forever. Yeah. Right. I don't know, something about that I still like. I like how it dips in. And curls around like that. Yeah, maybe something like that. Cool. I'll leave that one at that. Merge that down. Let's put them as red. Maybe we'll come back to those later. What else do we have? Let's just draw more traditional, even more traditional kind of castle. Something like as close to that, more closer to that design now. So I still want to kind of make it my own. I want to try and still refrain from circular land. We can have it like an island. And then surrounded by water. But yeah, maybe the water is not even. It's not like a shape like circle or triangle. Or just kind of blobby, maybe. Like water in space. Then we got the castle design here. Let's just go something a little bit traditional. Streaming now for 2 hours 39 minutes. I think I'm gonna have a lunch break in half hour or 20 minutes or something like that. And then I'll end the stream and then I'll come back on in an hour. I don't want these streams going on too long. I'm transferring over to YouTube. So, I want to keep them relatively short. Yeah, what's relative there, I suppose. Meaning it's 3 hours relatively short. Can we have a secondary castle? Why do we always have only one castle? Can this be like a whirlpool? That's water. Just water drops. Don't want water drops. Could we try... How do water drop look from here? That's going back to almost the pyramid design again. Once again, think about the overall shape design, like the silhouette. So I'm correcting the bubbles, the little... the little bits of drops of water here and there. And like changing slightly the shape. Yeah, interesting. Can we have... I can't remember this. What is if this was wave or if this was Earth? But I'm making it Earth now anyway. We have a second castle here. We have roads. Let's have roads. Where is this going? So the towns are going to be super small. Going back to my classic design of these circular objects around spikes. This is quite two-dimensional. Let's try and make that three-dimensional. It's almost church-like. I'm thinking Notre Dame. But if that's way too big as a building in its own right. what's going on here. So it's kind of like the tower is quite similar to the one up there, but I just kind of moved around a bit. There's something being said about this one here. It's like I like how symmetrical it is. Whereas my one's quite asymmetrical. Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking this. I wanted to get something a little bit more traditional. Something that's not actually like crazy out there. I'll draw in the land silhouette. So just drawing in the silhouette here. And my classic spikes design. It's incorporated as well. Let's do another layer of the water as well. Actually, let's just colour all in one, so it's not getting confusing. Yeah. So yeah, I just reminded you I completed Pharmacy 1 the other day, and I was looking at the artwork on the game, and Yoshitaka Amano is one of my influences, and I was remembering, I was looking at one of his drawings of a castle in the desert, and yeah, like maybe I want to do something like that, maybe. But it would be too long to get that image back up. Just try and keep it in my mind. So yeah, we got another option. Object 3. Duplicate, merge. Let's save. Let's save them all. Make it orange. Call that 2. Merge. Are we going that one? Which one of these is the best one? I think I got the best one. And which one of these? Maybe that one. Let's call it 1. Orange. Make this orange as well. Ah, there's a name. Well, I was wondering where that went for a sec. Selection landscapes. Let's have that different. That side. The originals. And we have the collection here. One. 2. 3. So these are the 3 major designs I have. So I kind of worked in reverse. Normally you may start off with the most basic idea, like something safe. That's what I end up doing last, and then you get more abstract and more abstract. I'll start off with the abstract and then up to more basic. So we got idea 1. Let's annotate. So this one with the water shape. As I said, I want to try and avoid completely spherical water. Or if it's landmass, then I really wanted to avoid the triangle or pyramid landmass. Because they're quite common. I just kind of want to mix up. But I still wanted to be as kind of safe as possible. And like nothing too crazy. So I came up with like the water here being kind of splishy splashy, kind of in as if it's in space and just floating around. And then with the spire, just like a traditional spire for the castle. But it's like quite similar to my designs anyway. But I put some like my signature spikes with arcs in them. Also, I avoided doing a traditional kind of like symmetrical design as well. So normally it gets mirrored image, but I wanted to change that and make the shape off to the side to make it more interesting. And then like with the triangle shape, we'll bounce it. So it's not like the traditional design, but kind of just shaken up a little bit. And then with this design, it's trying the triangles. The fork at the top was really cool, starting grounds, and I like the rural triangle focus of the drawing here. Normally you would go for the spike, it leading into the spike, and normally you will draw the spike here and the fat end there. But I wanted to do the reverse. Just try and change up what would normally be your go-to. Like I knew as I was doing this, it's like I don't want to do the obvious pyramid there and have it like reversed, as you see here. I think that's a cool design. I like the little town here as well, and like the land here as well. So that's a really cool design. And this one, I always like bonkers design, and I really like this one. This will obviously need cleaning a lot, and probably reshaping. So maybe the landmass bigger, maybe, or take what I got from these. And this is why I did different variants, because the more you do, the more kind of ideas you have. And like the landmass here is kind of like a circle. But after doing the other two designs, I now realize like it doesn't have to be a circle. I'm gonna make it look like England. I'm not trying to draw England, by the way. But like land masses, yeah. And then with the water, yeah. I have a pyramid going on here. But I think before I kind of wanted to not be too crazy because it's already crazy above. But there's something to be said. Maybe I could experiment with them. They're in space water kind of design. And something I could like lean into. But yeah, going a bit mad. It's a tower. Starts off like a normal castle, and then very quickly evolves into what looks like a person, an angel with the wings. But still a castle. It's still man-made. So you still got like tower defenses and arches. But also like have a head there as well. Because it is fantasy as well. It's like just push it a lot more. And then have the final part of the castle like as a as like a crown. And then you could do designs of what kind of crowns to have, you know? And like you could just then zoom in like what kind of wings to have, what kind of hair to have. Like you could spend hours and days and weeks just coming up with different ideas all the time, indefinitely. But there's only one facet of the entire project. So I don't want to go too crazy. But anyway, yeah. We got 1, 2, and 3. I think that's good. If I was doing a drawing of just the castle, then I probably would have done more variations. But like because it's one element of like 3 heavily designed elements, being like the frame being 1, the main person being 2nd, and this island being 3rd, then it would be too long. So I need to stop here, think about what I'm doing, and then move on. So yeah, which one's your favorite? My personal go-to is probably number 1. I might go 1. Then second up would be 3, I think. I like the safe. It's not too crazy. Like we got like a drawing full of crazy shit going on all over the place. And it might be good to actually have it a little bit more calm. But yeah, I'm indecisive. I might still go 1 there. I'd be mad to draw. Have like a crazy bit of drawing in the middle full of a whole bunch of other crazy stuff. But I suppose also kind of doing similar to the guy who commissioned me kind of wanted a bit like Discworld kind of drawings as well. And they're quite busy. And there's a million things going on with those. So yeah. Maybe it'll be fun to make it a bit busy. And also he wants it based upon similar to my old drawing. So I kind of want to make it look like this, if I can. But yeah. Right, so I'm going to have a break. I'm going to end the stream now. and come back on in an hour or an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours, and then continue. Where I would pick one of these three. I'll think about it over the next 2 hours. Pick one of the three, and then and then go from there. Either I'll probably won't do a fine version of one of these on the next stream. I'll probably do like variations of the frame. Will be next probably. So I suppose I've got a bit more time to think about which one of these three. But anyway, cool. I'll be back on in a couple of hours' time. Cool. Let's go back to the screen. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next part. Bye.